Well, good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome back to another episode of Trap Lines and Inlines. In this episode, we're going to be installing this here wood stove. We'll show you all the steps along the way, including the chimney and the stovepipe and the cathedral ceiling kit there, and everything along the way, all the way up to first fire. So I was really happy with how all this went together, and I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. Okay guys, let's get started on this stove install. Okay, pardon the mess and the dog running around here probably in the road, but we're just starting off here with the first section of chimney. This is the piece that's going to come down through the cathedral support box. So just the guys got to see it, bud. So we got this support collar that goes around the outside, and this is going to hold this above the ceiling box. So I got that tightened down on both ends. And this is a kind of a decorative trim piece, I believe, and this is going to cover up what's showing when this chimney piece comes down through the ceiling, because this is going to extend about this far through the ceiling. Now it says you need a minimum of 4 inches below the ceiling box support, and I'm going to use as much as I can because I'm not getting the single wall clearances that I need without this extended past, which has a 2-inch clearance from combustibles. So and then we got our stovepipe connector to our single wall pipe or whatever there, and that's gonna go right on top. This is the male end. It says which side needs to go up, and that's the bottom end here. So we're working on the bottom end. So that goes and sits right down there, and then we have this decorative trim piece as well here. And this goes inside, so you kind of got a jimmier to get her in there. It's a bit of a prick here. There we go. So we got that good. Now we got a locking band, and that's gonna go on top and lock this into the chimney. So we'll get this tightened down as good as she'll go. There, that's dandy. So now that's holding in my stovepipe adapter, right? Okay, so now with our ceiling support kit, there's 8 little holes on this support bracket, this 2-piece support bracket. And when I put this on, I put all this stuff together, and this is gonna sit right on top of the support. So this is all that's gonna be showing, and it's giving me about 9¼ inches from here to here. So that's gonna give me a pretty damn good clearance on my single wall pipe when it connects here, because I'm worried about the angled section of my cathedral ceiling. So might play around with that a bit yet, but okay, so they give us 8 little screws here to attach this bracket on. So we're just, this is a 3/32 drill bit, what it calls for, and we're gonna need to pre-drill these. And that's not actually going right into the chimney, just into the insulation a bit there. And then we'll come through here. So we got our holes drilled there now. Now we're going to take these tiny itty bitty little screws, and I probably even should have a little screwdriver, actually would be better, because these would be pretty. And I'm not going to tighten them down too much. It's pretty thin material we're working with, but there's 8 of these all the way around the stove pipe here. And I'll just be gentle with them because I don't want to break them. I think I'm gonna have to take some of this stuff off to put it down through the roof, but that would be no problem. Just want to put it all on display here. So we'll drill all these 8 and get the screws put in, then we'll put her through the ceiling. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, so I've placed this stove. I got it all assembled here today. We'll get into further detail on the stove a little later on, but what I've done here is I've put this is in the corner, and I've put the center of this 6-inch pipe here 23 inches from the studs, eh? So that's giving me 20 inches to the perimeter, 20 inches. So then I'll probably have about an inch of material here to do on my interior walls, or an inch of material. And then I'll have an inch extra there for my single wall stovepipe, which has a clearance of 18 inches. Gonna have an inch extra. Gives myself a little bit of room for error, and I'll just play it a little on the safe side. So I had a nice little laser, placed it right in the center, and then used it to find, you can see it up there, use it to find where that cathedral ceiling support kit needs to go. Got that lined up, and then I just cut it out there. You can see, not the most perfect cutout job, but doesn't have to be. So we'll take you upstairs here. So yeah, now I got that lined up there, and then I checked, make sure I'm still 23 inches from here and from here. That's all dandy, and I got it there as nice as it'll go there, and got her, put her in there, and she's level there now. So looking dandy, guys. Okay, I'll just show you how I got this cathedral ceiling box framed in. So it's 14.5 inches, so it slides under the rafters there, right in between, pretty good there. So got that all, seats on both sides there. And then I added two 2x4 pieces, had 14.5 or whatever they were. And right across there, you see they're nice and flush. And then from the inside of the box, I've nailed it all the way around on the stud framing using 2-inch spiral framing nails. The instructions called for 3 per side. I think I put 4 or 5 aside. So yeah, that's good and solid. Now we'll drop our chimney through. See, it's good and level there too. We'll drop our chimney through, and we're gonna have to extend that chimney a good chunk past, because my clearances are gonna be tight here on the single wall, so I'm gonna probably drop it 9 inches. Okay, so I'll show you where I'm at here. So I took my cathedral ceiling box, I lined it up when I put it in, flush with the top edge here, the highest edge. And then I've just cut this with the Tim snips, and I've cut it flush, and then any little excess I just bent over the side, eh? This is not pretty at all. There's no hiding that, but you know, it's gonna work dandy. So you can see my shingles got a little buggered up when I cut them. Cut out this hole, but no big deal. So I'll show you how this roof flashing is gonna sit. Okay, I'll show you where I'm at on the roof flashing. So I've tucked this under 3 layers of shingles. So about half of it is covered with shingles, the top half. So what I did here is I took a shitload of roofing tar and put it a few separate beads all the way around the outside of where this is gonna sit, and the same thing up underneath. And then I put this on and nailed it all the way around, a little excessive with the nails. And I nailed it. These are all sealed up here now, but I nailed behind. So I pulled this tab up, nailed in behind this previous row of shingles through here, and then put the tab over. I resealed all my shingles with roofing tar to get them sealed up and everything. And yeah, it's looking just great. I used a whole tube of roofing tar on this, and none of it is oozing out. A little bit up here. But you see, the problem here is when you cut out this square for your cathedral support box, you end up with a corner here on your shingles, which is no big deal. You can see I even ripped off this piece here, but that's just kind of the way it goes. A lot of those kits, you only have to drill out that hole like this on the bottom. With this one, you got to cut out the whole square, eh? So you're left with a corner. You can see I haven't done the best job in the history ever of cutting out those shingles, but it's really sealed up nice. I sealed all these tabs back down. You can see there, and it's sealed up really good. I put these nails right through the roofing tar, so the bottom of the nail should be sealed up pretty darn good, because I put them through the tar when the tar was still active, hadn't dried yet, eh? So I think this is just gonna be dandy, guys. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, and I'm not too proud of how that turned out, but I tell you what, it's sealed up pretty damn good, guys. You see, we got a good watershed going here with half the shingles on top. Some water is going to accumulate here, so I'll add some silicone, and it's going to come down and off the sides. And this is sealed really good up underneath here to make sure water isn't getting in behind. I'm pretty damn confident in the ability of this here to shed water. Okay, I got my first section of chimney down and through. I did have to take off all this stuff to get the chimney through. So you see, This is the 9 inches. This chimney is extending past through the box. My instructions say there's a minimum of 4 inches. This must come through the box. And I utilized all of it that I could with this decorative piece. And you can see why it's so nice there. I got the adapter on there, everything. But here's the deal, guys, okay? There's a 10, 3, and 2 rule. So the chimney must extend 3 foot past the highest point where it comes through the roof. And anything within 10 feet horizontally, it must extend 2 feet past. So in this case, it's the ridge. So from here, the bottom of the roof to the top, there's 4 feet. So as long, I have two 36 inches sections of chimney, so I have 6 foot of chimney. So as long as my chimney doesn't come down lower than the top plate here on my little walls, then I'll have the 2 foot I need up there. So I'm pretty well, I just got about an inch or two there that chimney extends past. It's just a little bit higher than the top plate, so I'll have a little bit extra, a little room for air kind of deal. With this much chimney through, it's going to be nice and sturdy, and it's a real nice snug fit here through the box. But pretty well, having a good section coming through here is going to give the top a lot of stability. However, I've kind of come into a bit of a problem here that I didn't originally plan for. So I'm gonna have a problem with my single wall pipe with my clearances from here to here is not quite 18 inches. From here to here is 20 to the perimeter of the pipe. And but where my single wall pipe starts, I'm gonna have problems with this stuff here. So I will likely have to put another heat shield on that single wall pipe to protect this stuff to the back of it. Okay, I've just installed this storm collar here now. It sits right on the chimney and covers up the flashing to prevent any water from getting in the chimney and down on the floor there. So okay, so there's just a little tab here, and I put it to the back so no one can see it from the ground. And then I sealed it healthy ugly bead of high temperature silicone. And then while I had that tube up here, I put a real healthy bead along the top half of the flashing, as well as on the perimeter of the exposed flashing, and on top of every one of my nails. Used a lot of silicone. I do suppose you could have also used that for underneath the flashing, but I'm pretty confident the roof tire would work quite great too. Hey, so like, I feel bad for the poor guy that ever has to take this here off. It is sealed up something silly, boys. Okay, just one more section of chimney to go. So you see what I mean here? I have to be 10 foot higher than the peak from where, or shit, 10 feet, good God. I have to be 2 feet higher than the peak here on the ridge with my chimney. So right now I'm about a foot under, and so when I put my 3 foot section up there, I'm gonna be easily 2 feet above that. Just a little bit extra, eh? Okay, you can see what I've placed my stove on here. So stove board is really quite expensive, I realize now. A section a little bit smaller than this, I'd be looking at about $150. So what I've done here is I've taken 4 patio blocks, and they're called quarter circle or whatever, and they make this whole circle around. These are filthy, so they're all different colors. So these are each 2 foot by 2 foot, and that's kind of pretty close to where the stove will sit. It's got to be moved a bit. And each one of these blocks was $14, so 56 bucks for the whole works. Saved about $100. And it's gonna be really nice to set that stove on. It's gonna look better than the stove board, and it's gonna, I got a little extra area and whatnot. See, I haven't put it quite up to the walls yet because I'm gonna have to shimmy that a bit when I do my insulation and interior walls. But I will likely be putting sheet metal around the outside here, just for a little extra peace of mind there. Although I already have the clearances I need because I'm using the single wall pipe, the clearances from the appliance to the sidewall. You can see I got massive distances. I got like 13 inches here on the corner. I needed 10. All of this stuff is good, eh? So let's keep giving her, guys. Yep, quite a mess. No need to remind me, boys. But here's our next section of chimney. And it's a 36-inch section. With your cathedral ceiling support kit, your roof support kit, it comes with a rain cap, eh? And it's got 3 of these tabs. It's just secured with 1 screw and nut there, and that holds that all on there to the chimney here. So we're gonna put this piece right on top of the other one, and then we have a locking band for it. And I'll show you this mechanism up close. Oh, for fuck's sake. We have a locking band for it here. I'll show you this mechanism up close. So it just slides in there and it grabs onto these grooves. And then we'll screw it in there for added stability on the added strength on the band here, so it never comes undone. So I'm not sure exactly how much chimney is going to be exposed through the top of the roof, but what I've found is they say 6 foot over. Some guys said 5 foot through the chimney. You need a support band there that ties to the rafters, a support a brace for the chimney. But I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I only got I'd be close to 5 feet there kind of deal. Maybe even a little less. I just can't quite remember now. So it should be good, especially for now. Another thing is here, I should probably get a spark little net around the rain cap here to keep birds from living in the cabin and sparks flying out. I think you need it with a shingle roof, but I'm not sure, eh? When there's snow on the roof, I wouldn't be too concerned, but I'm just not sure, eh? So let me know on that too, guys. It's not a great day to be working on a 912 roof 13 feet in the air. It snowed there, now it rained there, now it's snowing, and this is all froze, just slippery, eh? So it's not much fun ginching around up here, and that's why it's so hard for me to film this here stuff on the roof, guys. And I do apologize, but it'd just be unsafe and shitty quality, eh? Well, you can see my chimneys through the roof there now, boys. I got an easy 2 foot there. It's really just perfect. I got to utilize a good chunk of that chimney section there through the bottom of the support there, so that was good. And I got about a perfect 2 foot there now, and I'm just really happy how that came out, guys. Okay, I'm just getting my single wall pipe all set up here, assembled and whatnot. Watch out, my boy. You're in the road, my boy. Can you mosey, bud? Cheers. So, getting my single wall stovepipe all assembled and put together, and we're gonna get this all put in place here today. So, there's a seam on this here. I'll try and show you as best I can here. This bit and this bit and this bit's got to go into that bit. So, we're gonna take that and get it pushed in, and we'll get both sides going here first thing, and then we got to kind of push down and in. So we kind of got to get both sides pushed down and in, make sure they're in there good all the way. There, now our seam is all put together here. I also have a telescopic piece here to assemble. You see, this one's gonna slide here like this, or maybe like this, eh? This one's gonna slide, and with the telescopic piece, we don't have to do any cutting of single wall pipe. So this is adjustable from 28 to 50 some inches, I believe, and it's gonna be strategically placed. I got a place for it that's particular. I have 2 36-inch pieces, one 2 foot piece, and the telescopic piece. So let's show you how we got her put together here. Okay, just putting together this single wall pipe here now. So there's a seam on this here, of course, and I don't want that facing out in the front. That'd be ugly, so I put it in the back. Okay, so the groove section goes down into the previous piece, and we'll get that seated all the way down. Make sure it's good. And I want to stagger those seams a bit in the back from this section in the previous, so I don't end up with them in the same spot, which I don't think is quite as good. And you see that same groove section went right into my stove. I think some stoves needed adapter there. This one went in really nice. It was quite a snug fit. It's good and secure. before I get too trigger happy with the drill, oh fuck's sakes, I broke my level. I got to make sure that I got this going straight. You know, it can be pretty damn close and still look good and work good, but I want it really nice, especially with a section this long. Make sure it's seated all the way down there. Yeah, that's perfect. So now we're using these little stovepipe. They're specifically designed for stovepipe applications. Fuck, my hands are frozen. They're little self-tapping black screws here, and they work wonders here. You don't have to do any pre-drilling. I think from the research I've done that double wall stovepipe has pre-drilled holes. Single pipe, this stuff anyway, does not. So that's all the way in there. So we'll just be gentle with it. They go in really nice. And I've been putting, you can put, like, there's 3 holes in my stove, but I've been putting 4, kind of one on each edge there, eh? So we'll get this drilled up, and I want to be a little ways down. I don't want to be right up on top. And yeah, this is gonna be just dandy, guys. Can't wait. Dandy, dandy, dandy. Yeah, these sections, they go in here quite snug, so it's getting sealed up. It can be a bit of a pain to get them put together, but not bad. So that's now good and secure. I got 4 screws in there. Probably a little bit overkill. I got a lot of chimney here though, or stovepipe. So we'll show you here now. Now I got 5-foot section and a 3-foot section coming from the ceiling support attached in the exact same way. The idea is I pushed all this stovepipe 20 inches out from the studs here on this side, but then I'm left with a shorter distance on my kind of joist here, the floor here. So I'm gonna have to put a heat shield there. So, but using that telescopic stove piece, because it's not gonna be near full extension, really, it's just like double wall pipe, eh? Because there's going to be 2 sections there in one of my problem areas where I'm short on clearance, eh? Which is just right here to my floor. So using that telescopic piece there to join these 2 together and get them level, I'm going to get added protection on a weak spot. But I'm still going to add a heat shield, which is relatively inexpensive, to this side to protect those joists. Okay guys, that single wall stovepipe install went really smoothly. The lighting's bad, apologies. It really went together nice. These screws work dandy, and it's really nice and straight there. Really happy with how everything turned out. Okay, so you can see from here to there, it's about centered there even. Right there to here is my telescopic piece, and I only had to pull it out about 2 inches. So I really kind of have a double wall section here to protect this clearance of 11 inches, which is what I'm worried about. So I'm still going to put the heat shield on there, which can then reduce clearances by 50% on the single wall. So it's 11 inches there now. This double wall piece, well, essentially a double wall piece, is really going to help me play it a little bit on the safe side. I think you could run this how this is here now for no problem for many years, but we're still gonna go that extra mile on that. So really, I could have went without this 24-inch section, but I was gonna buy that anyway, the telescopic piece, a little bit more, 40 bucks or whatever. But this 2-foot section here costed me like $10 or whatever. So for an extra $10, I got a lot more peace of mind and safety standard there by having that how it is there. I do have an extra connection there now, but that's no problem at all. So we're just waiting on the heat shield, which will be in here in a couple days, and we'll be ready to let her chooch, boys. Stay tuned. First fire going here now, guys. I know I probably should have those heat shields on before I'm letting her rip, but I just couldn't help myself, boys. So exciting, eh, puppy? Hey, puppy. So Yeah, I looked like a real idiot there for a while trying to get this fucking fire going. I had the temperature or the air control closed off all the way. I thought it was you had it all the way over here, you were good. Well, it's I believe November 9th here. We got the stove cranking full bore. It's 20 below today and it is warm in the cabin. No insulation. It's quite incredible how much heat is coming off this stove right now. But the dog's curled up here, got his pillows close to the fire. But what finally came in today is my adjustable stovepipe heat shield. So here's what it looks like. It's a two-piece unit here. You can see. So it's a two-piece unit, and it works from like 5 to 8 inch pipe, I believe. And it so the first piece here has got 4 brackets, and you screw them in there, bends around the pipe, covers about half the pipe, and then this one goes like that, and it slides in here, and then you fasten it on the top. So I need to put one of these right here. I only have 11 inches here on this clearance to the joist here on my loft floor. And I need to put one up there, so I'll show you that now. So obviously I have like plenty of clearance, even extra here and there. But the 2 spots I was worried about is right here. And here, I have about 14 inches from this single wall pipe here to the loft, or to the rafters here. And I'm gonna be using a combustible material on the inside of these walls. But here's the deal, guys. With this little stove and this cabin being so small, like I said, it's minus 20 below. I have it on full crank and it's warm in here. No insulation. So when I have insulation in here, this stove is going to be on the lowest setting at all times, guaranteed. So it's really not producing a whole shitload of heat, but still quite a bit. I was worried about this spot here. Even with the 2 layers of pipe here on my telescopic, I was still a little bit worried, eh? You can see here, like, it's still, like, you can touch it for a decent period of time, but it's still hot, eh? But with this single wall pipe, it's radiating heat all the way up the pipe. So the bottom sections, the higher you get, the cooler this pipe is. So this stuff isn't bad here. I got about 11-12 inches. And I imagine on both of these, you would be fine to run without. But it's just going to give me a little peace of mind, help me get to sleep at night type deal. Like I said here, this stove is running full crank right now. And watch how long I can hold on to this single wall pipe right up top here. Like, it's not burning me now. Just about there, it's starting to get too hot. This chimney pipe that's coming through the roof is not hot at all. It's cool. But the thing is, like, it's radiated so much heat by the time it gets up here, you can hold on to this single wall pipe while the stove is on full bore. So I'm really not worried, but I'm going to put a heat shield on here just in case. This is a $35 section of heat shield. It's really not that expensive. I have saved a few $100s here by using single wall pipe over double wall pipe. And these $35 sections, I bought 2 of them. It's not a big deal. I'm still saving a ton of money. And this single wall pipe is going to radiate heat out into my loft here and keep that nice and warm. And I'll put a nice little 12-volt fan here to get the air circulating and pushed out onto the overhanging loft here. But honest to God, guys, I can nearly guarantee, like, this stove is running full bore, and like, these joists are not getting warm at all, like, no warmer than any of them. All this stuff, like I said, like, I'm holding on to the stovepipe. I'm pretty sure you could run that forever. But, you know, the deal is here, guys, you know, the fucking thing burns down, guys. Like, I can always build another cabin. The problem is, if the fucking thing burns down with my dog in it, and it was my damn fault, I couldn't live with myself for the rest of my life. So, I'm just taking it a little extra step further here, making sure everything's done right. And it'll give me peace of mind when I leave the dog in the cabin and head over on the trap line. Anyway, guys, let's get this heat shield attached. Okay, I got my stovepipe heat shield installed on both sides. and it's adjustable, I think 28 to 50 inches or something like that. You just slide it up and down as far as you want. I pretty well used it for its full potential, so I had 18 inches from diagonally here to my floor as well. So that's all really good there now, guys. I'll show you here. So like from there, I have 18 inches from the top of my heat shield to the actual single wall pipe. I have 19 there, so that's good. And I'll have the same kind of distance on the bottom as well, maybe even a tad more. But okay, I forgot to mention, but I could have dropped this through the roof further, but it would have to be substantially, probably about another 8 inches before I got the proper clearances from here. You can see, like, at my worst spot here, I have 13 or whatever. But the thing is, this section of heat shield was cheaper than a section of chimney by far. And I can't drop that chimney any further through because it's about right perfectly 2 foot above the ridge at the moment. Okay, so that there's what my heat shield looks like. Okay, you can see I've cut, I spent some odds and sods kind of time there whenever I had time, and I cut and split a pretty good shitload of wood there. See the smoke's rolling out of the chimney there on the cabin there now. Really working good there. I got it stacked all the way around the skirt of the cabin too. I bet you I have a little over a cord of wood here. This is a 16-foot long pile, even a little more. I bet you have about a cord, maybe a little more, but it's hard to say because of all the stuff that's stacked underneath. I should spend about one more day cutting wood. This is all white poplar though, unfortunately. Okay there, boys and girls, well, we got the stove all in. That's first time I've installed a wood stove or any appliance, anything close to it. Hey, it was a first for me, and I thought everything went really good, and I'm pretty confident in how I got things now in terms of safety. But you know, I'm not ignorant. If there's something I've done here that isn't quite right, or if I got to do something, please don't hesitate to let me know. Like I said, I'm not ignorant, and I want to do things right, especially if I'm going to be leaving my dog in here while I hit the trap line and with the stove going, eh? So just let me know there. But I'm pretty damn confident I got it good. So I want to talk to you guys a little further here about my wood stove. So this wood stove is an absolute dragon. It's been working fantastic. It has a phenomenal draft because the chimney is so straight and tall. It's really working good. Like I said, I have this on full bore, and it's 20 below outside, and with no insulation in my cabin, it is above room temperature in here. It's phenomenal. That being said, once I get insulation in here, I'll likely be choking that all the way down, and that'll likely be plenty enough heat for this structure. So the stove is working great for cooking. I've been cooking lots on it. I got some bush coffee going there now, and I got some farm fresh eggs the hens laid me this morning. So that's just great. It's been working great for that. And how I intend to use this is I'll likely rip this wide open when I'm cooking, and open the window behind me if it gets too hot in here, because like I said, this will likely be on the lowest setting at all times here. So I saved about a little over $100 by putting it on patio blocks instead of using stove board. I was really happy with that. I'm going to save a little more money too by using stainless steel as a backing here, which I don't actually even need because I already have the clearances, but just to play it a little safe than sorry type deal. And that'll save me some money as opposed to using stove board as well. It would have costed me over $400 because it's such a tremendous length to use double wall stovepipe, and I spent less than half of that using single wall, and that's including the heat shield. So I was really glad about that. I was happy I ended up using single wall, and it's radiating heat throughout my whole structure. Like, it's plenty warm right there up in the loft there, right where my bed is. The heat is very consistent. I'm so happy with that. But I want to talk to you guys a little further about my wood stove. So here's the deal. I had a hell of a time finding a good stove for $500. And the problem is I live in a sparsely populated area. So whenever I'm buying used, I end up driving way down to Edmonton or way down to Saskatoon or something. So I didn't see anything close by that was good, and I looked for a long time. And there were some good deals in Edmonton and whatever else, but by the time I counted for my fuel to drive up and down, I could have bought this here stove. So wood stoves, brand new, are expensive, but this one isn't as bad as you might think. Not nearly as bad as you might think because it's a small model. It's rated for 250 to 1,000 square foot, and I'm right on the bottom end of that. So like I said, I'll be leaving her right low there. It's a beautiful stove. It's working so great here. And like I said, by the time I counted my fuel, I could have just bought the stove new. So I didn't find any good deals, but this I did really well on this stove here, I think. The thing about it here is nice too, like you buy new, you know exactly what you're getting. The stove bricks are in order. The window gaskets are good, all that stuff. The door gasket's good, all that kind of stuff. You know what you're getting yourself into. And then what's really nice is this is a highly efficient EPA certified stove. So it's extremely safe and it's extremely efficient, which means I'm burning a lot less wood, as well as I'm less getting up in the middle of the night to stoke the fire. I cannot believe how long these fires are lasting when I leave her cranked all the way down. So that's really great. It means burning less wood. And that efficiency might have been lacking in the older models that I was looking at. And I didn't want anything that was of subpar quality in terms of safety in particular. I didn't want something old that was rusted out or anything, or something that wasn't quite designed for resident applications and more so for like recreational purposes. I didn't want something like that either. This stove, and now I got exceptional heat range on my air control. It's extremely efficient, I don't think I'm gonna have to get up in the middle of the night with this stove. I haven't played around with it too bad, but with this low setting, it's so efficient. And all I'm burning is standing dead white poplar, so I just can't believe how efficient it is. Treated it as an investment, you know, like this stove being new like this, it's gonna last forever. I'll get great use out of it, and like I said, it'll last a long time. So now I treat this as an investment, and I got something now here that is of the highest standard of efficiency and safety, and it just looks great. So I'm really happy. I have no regrets with anything I've done here so far. Like, the stove is phenomenal. I love how it looks. It's working great, and it's incredibly efficient, and it really didn't cost me as much as you might think. This is the cheapest stove on the Jolette line there, cheapest EPA stove, and it's really well built and incredibly efficient. So I'm just so happy with it. So anyway, guys, I just want to address something here quick before we finish the episode. So a lot of people don't like that I swear a bit in my videos, and I really do hold her back pretty good. Like if you see me on the unfiltered daily ginching around here, I would be banned from YouTube. There is just no doubt. So I try and hold it back to a respectable amount. But when I started this channel, and to this day, one of my biggest concerns, like, I wanted to create no bullshit content. Like, I wanted to keep it original and authentic, because I was so pissed off with everything I see on TV. It's so filtered, and other YouTube channels where you just see like the guys are just trying to be something they're not, you know. Like, this is who I am, and I live in the bush. I've completely alienated myself. I don't talk to anybody, so I get few opportunities to actually be myself, and you know, so it's nice to kind of have the YouTube and express who I am in a sense, and talk how I was going to. And I know damn well, no matter what I do, no matter how I talk, no matter how I present myself, someone's not going to like it. It's just the way it goes. So I'd rather be hated for something I am than something I'm not. And the channel has been phenomenal lately. Like, absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe the amount of support, and I have a great, phenomenal viewer base, and I can't thank you guys enough for tagging along on my videos. This past month, I had like something like 1,000 subscribers. It's substantial for the size of my channel. It's actually unbelievable. And and then I get people that come in and they say, if you didn't swear, talk like a prick, you'd get more subscribers or whatever. It's like, things are at an all-time best. I'm just gonna keep giving her, guys. Like, there's no chance, no sense fixing something that's not broken in my eyes, eh? So fuck. So life's great. I'm so happy. Things are just great. So we'll call her a video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Positive vibes to the max. I'm just feeling so great right now. I hope you guys are too. Yeah, positive vibes, man. Until the next time.